Yeah, it's about 6 months ago since I did another video. Yeah, I told myself to actually do it a bit earlier. Yeah, and here we are. Just how long was that? 6 months or something like that. Anyway, this is Sprukit Superman. Apparently it's from the Man of Steel. Never seen it. The picture is from the movie, I'm guessing. Probably one of the promotional art from the movie. Really high detail. Shouldn't the kid doesn't do that. Because this is one of the level 2 the small scale 1/12 size Superman. Yeah, it's alright actually, to be honest. It's not too bad. Just like all the other 1/6 scale one that I had before. Got reasonable articulation. Still hate the fact that the cape is a piece of paper. Yeah, I'm trying to curve it, trying to actually add some more action to it. Curve a little bit, but it doesn't actually give you much, so I gave up on getting it anymore. I did paint the whole body in the what was it? The Game Workshop Fang, and then brushed over with lighter blue, and then the wash to actually get the the overall body color a little bit more interesting. So yeah, adding a little bit more shading doesn't make him look a little bit better. Skin tone is alright. I decided not to paint the eye because I really hate putting a tiny little dot into the eye. They either look really ugly or look really silly. So I just keep them white. Just imagine that he's constantly using his laser vision, or X-ray vision, or whatever vision. Yeah, I don't really care about Superman, to be honest. The boot is in a maroon red to actually match the cape, which I also painted that piece, which is part of the mechanism to actually hold the paper cape onto it. Trying to color match it, but in real life it looks a little bit better. Yeah, on camera you can see a difference between them. It's probably the texture. Let's see. The symbol in the chest is one piece, and I painted the background with a bit of gold. Again, it's alright. The hair is composed of about 3 pieces to actually form it. You can just see a little bit of a line, but because of all the creases on the hair, it's actually pretty good at hiding it. So that's fine. The belt consists of a piece of gold here and then a gold wrap around it. I decided to use the stickers because, well, to be honest, you can see it here. My gold is not actually it's not very smooth. My gold is designed more for a rough texture, and then I brush over it several times to actually create a antique gold effect. And to do that, I can't really do a very tiny little detail unless I do it beforehand and then I put the blue afterward. But I didn't because that is a lot of work. Yeah, there's no detail on the underside of the boot. Yeah, that's alright. Articulation is pretty good because is basically the same as the current Figure standard. In fact, I'm pretty certain these guys are what they have done with the Figure standard, what they have actually used as a test bed for the Figure standard. So yeah, arm is double jointed, swivel. The fist is ball jointed, so it does swivel around. Arm is on this. There is a butterfly joint, and then the arm overall is on the ball joint. Head is on the ball joint, and there is a swivel hinge so that he can look a little bit higher. Come on, so they can fly. I was going to throw him, but there's no room. There is a ball joint at the bottom of the torso between the hip, so he can wiggle around, rotate a little bit. He can do a little bit of ab crunch, not a lot. Again, there is a bar that can actually lower down to actually give him more joint movement for the leg so that he can spread his leg a little bit and can go forward, go backward. Not a lot because it's still there is a bit of constraint on the design. Swivel. double joint on the knee, which is fine. A little bit showing the joint, but there's not much you can do. I think that that is alright for action figure style. And then there is a ball joint here. I think, yeah, there is no movement on there. So, actually, no, there is. There you go. There's that much movement. It's not very useful because of how much it actually wrap the feet actually wrap around the ankle. You can use a little bit of it, not a lot. And there is just enough room to actually put him in a more dynamic A pose. So overall, is it good? It's reasonable. I still think that the figurized, the Sprukit really should start off with something a little bit more, publicity. I mean, they took Halo, that was fine, but that was Halo 4. Not a lot of people really care about action figure from the Halo series by that point. They did Man of Steel, and Man of Steel was fine, I think, in terms of reception. But they only did one. They only did this size Superman. They didn't actually do anything bigger. And again, really, it's more about lack of publicity. Oh, and by the way, there's a stand, and the stand was molded in blue. So I painted it in black because, yeah, everything else I have on the Sprukit side, I decided to paint all of the base in black just to make them all consistent. And again, it's a friction base. Come on. So they kind of work better actually when you paint it. Before, without the paint, it's actually doesn't have enough grip on the leg. So right now, it's actually gripped pretty well. At least I can wiggle around and he's not going to fall over. So yeah, overall, Sprukit at the moment seems to be going on to sales. People seem to throw them all into the bargain bin. If you see it, if you want to have a feel on the figurized standard kit, I think they are probably the best equivalent you can actually try. Because to be honest, buying the figurized standard from Japan is probably a bit expensive, so you want to test it out with something first. Have a try. Look for the Sprukit, try them, and if you think that they're good, and it's worth justifying the price for getting a Vegeta, for example. No, there's no Vegeta. Damn it, where's Vegeta? Anyway, yeah, if you want a Super Saiyan's Goku from the figurized standard and not sure about the quality of those, this would probably be a pretty good indicator of how good they are. I think overall they look pretty good, and these are pretty good as well. So yeah, have a try, have a look around. It's pretty fun. So yeah, it's always good to actually build your own action figure. That's always my justification for actually buying all of this action figure based model kit. So yeah, this is Man of Steel Superman, which looks like any other Superman.